can get.
Using TitleMax.com, I got $1,400.
$3,200.
TitleMax.com got me $9,700.
Best of all, most credit types are approved. Next time you need cash, try TitleMax for rate. Try TitleMax for the amount you need. Find out why so many people are saying,
I got my title back with TitleMax.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
It's time for you to take charge of the stuff you really want. Be your own deal boss.
Deal boss!
From phones to drones, humidifiers to hair dryers, sneakers to speakers.
Deal boss!
Follow us. Facebook.com/Deal boss.
Coming up on Channel 6 News at 10. With heavy rains in the forecast, heavy flooding has hit many central Texas communities. We'll bring you all the latest details. Channel 6 News starts right now. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Leslie Draffin. Chris Radcliffe has the night off. Well, starting things off, let's talk about the weather because it has certainly been a big weather day today. Chief Meteorologist Andy Anderson joins us with a look at how it's looking right now. Hey, Andy.
Well, it's still wet and it's awfully chilly out tonight. The last couple of days have felt very winter-like for us. And as you look at this picture from the Baylor Scott and White Health Skylab weather camera with the red and green lights kind of puts you into a holidays kind of frame of mind here. It is wet for us, and it's going to stay wet. Rain is beginning to taper off considerably east of I-35, but to the west, we're still looking at several bands of rain in the outlook for us as we go through not only this evening, but through the day tomorrow into tomorrow night. We're going to still be looking at rain on and off all the way into the weekend. Flash flood watch in effect for much of the Edwards Plateau out to the west of us. And from our area back up towards Interstate 20, the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, we have an aerial flood advisory in effect as well. So we're talking about more rain falling on grounds that are saturated. They can't hold anymore, so we're getting runoff. And then out to the west of us, we're getting rain falling in that topography, which has a lot of canyons and arroyos that flood real rapidly when we get that runoff. So that's why we're covered with these flood watches and warnings across the area right now. Forecast model gives us another bout of rain late night, early in the morning, back to the west of us, moving across our western counties particularly, but getting all the way over towards the I-35 corridor by morning. So it's going to be a wet start to the day. 47 degrees, the overnight low tonight. Looking at 60% chances of light rain and drizzle through much of the day tomorrow. We'll barely get up into the mid, possibly upper 50s tomorrow. A little bit of a warm up, but not by much. We have a very wet forecast coming up a little later in the news.
All right, thanks, Andy. Well, the rising Colorado River through Marble Falls has forced many people to evacuate their homes. Tonight, officials warned the water could continue rising in the city and people should continue taking precautions. Curtis Quillen joins us live tonight with the latest from Marble Falls. And Curtis, how is it down there?
Well, good evening to you, Leslie. The good news here out of Marble Falls tonight is there are no known injuries and there are no known fatalities as a result of today's flooding. But when we spoke with a couple forced to evacuate their home today and spend tonight in a shelter here in town, it's a nightmare for them all the same.
I like my mouth hit the floor.
As the water of the Colorado River sweeps through Marble Falls this Tuesday night, many are stuck away from their homes. That includes Robert and Sherry Hillhouse, who have lived in Granite Shoals for 30 years.
The law asked us where we live, and after we told him, he said, I suggest you get out.
We have shower trailers, shower unit coming in, preparing meals for people. We have mattresses coming in.
The Hillhouses are among about 35 people city officials say Tuesday night evacuated to here at the First Baptist Church of Marble Falls. But the church is prepared for more.
Probably upwards of 200 people if we needed to tonight.
The city of Marble Falls says Avenue S, which allows access to the Meadow Lakes area, was finally able to reopen just before 8 o'clock. But they're warning people as they say projections from the Lower Colorado River Authority have the river surging an additional 1 to 2 feet between 9 and 11 Tuesday night.
What that means for people is the people that were flooded originally or asked to evacuate originally needs to be vigilant and stay out of those areas and expect more flooding.
So for the Hillhouses, that means more sitting and more waiting for the floodwaters to finally recede.
I'm worried about what I'm going to see when we head home.
For myself, I think I'd rather live through a tornado than I had something like this.
Now, as far as the entire scope of today's flooding, according to the city, it is unclear at this time exactly how many people were forced from their homes in the Marble Falls area. And Leslie, the river continues to rush. And like we said earlier, they were warning that it would continue to rise another 1 to 2 feet. And that's going to keep going until about 11 o'clock tonight. For now, we're live in Marble Falls. Curtis Quillen, Channel 6 News.
All right. Be safe down there. Thanks, Curtis. Coryell County also seeing massive flooding after the Leon River rose nearly 6 feet higher than its flood line. The Leon River can reach up to 22 feet before it floods. The National Weather Service says this afternoon it was over 28 feet. Now, the flooding impacted areas all along the river, including Gatesville and Mound. In fact, over by the south end of Mound, FM 1829 was completely submerged.
Turn around, don't drown. That would be very prudent right now. It is not worth it. This is a good night to stay at home and watch TV.
Yeah, stay at home and watch the news. Major flooding to our south being blamed for at least 1 death, and it also caused a section of a bridge to collapse. According to officials, the Llano River in Kingsland rose to 39 feet. That is the height of a 4-story building. It is expected to crest well over the major flood stage, and earlier today parts of the FM 2900 bridge collapsed in Kingsland, and that's where the Colorado River meets the Llano River. In Clifton, the Bosque River rose over its banks today as rain continues coming down all across the area. A video posted by Clifton Police Chief Trace Hendricks shows the river covering Riverside Drive. Hendricks says it's expected to reach 29 feet. And while he does not expect it to reach levels that would force evacuations, he is urging anyone living in the area to take precautions and stay safe. And we know Clifton ISD and Valley Mills ISD are both on a 2-hour delay tomorrow. Well, coming up, a larger-than-life alligator roams a Florida golf course. Details on this giant reptile in tonight's 6 More Things to Know. And the CDC investigating possible new cases of the mysterious illness that can partially paralyze a child. We'll have details coming up.
Change. It's inevitable, but it also inspires what's possible. That's why we're changing the game with innovation, changing the way we collaborate and communicate. And that will never change. Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better.
You may have seen some of these negative attack ads seeking to scare you about what we're trying to do for this state and our country at this critical moment. Now, we can be defined by our fears, or we can be known by our ambitions. I'm confident that when we see each other not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Texans, as Americans, as human beings, there's no stopping us. That's why I'm running to represent you and everyone in the state of Texas in the United States Senate. I'm Beto O'Rourke, and I approve this message.
And what are we doing up here, Tim? Hey, we've got to get the word out that $5 down delivers on hundreds of pre-owned vehicles and Dodge Country used cars.
Just $5 down?
That's right, just $5 down delivers. Check out this 2017 Ram 1500, $5 down delivers.
Or pay this $5 down on this 2017 Dodge Challenger.
$5 down delivers today, so come save now. And remember, you can always buy for less than clean at Dodge Country. Used cars, that is.
During Ford SUV season, find out why more people come back to Ford than any other brand.
Preparing classic campfire trout.
Say what?
Trout. The fish aren't going to catch themselves.
All right. You don't think I need both?
Why does he have that axe?
Wherever the adventure leads, stay connected with Ford, the brand with the most J.D. Power initial quality awards. During Ford SUV season, get 0 for 72 plus $1,000 cash back on a 2018 Explorer for a limited time at your best in Texas Ford dealer.
The world's largest human trafficking online marketplace. 1 million illicit ads a day. Women and children were abused. All the owners made millions. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton fought back and launched the Human Trafficking Unit and helped shut down this criminal enterprise to protect women and young girls from these horrendous crimes. Attorney General Ken Paxton, trusted leadership for a safer Texas.
This is Dr. Gunter Zulauf. Did he solve Carmichael's totient conjecture? Yes. Yes, he did. But did he buy his car at drive time using the industry's smartest online tools? No, he did not. Dr. Gunter Zulauf was almost a genius. Get fast online financing and know your down payment. Shop over 15,000 vehicles at drivetime.com, the genius way to buy a car.
No one ever said you need to be sick to get better. That's why at Baylor Scott & White, we're innovating how people get well and stay that way. Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better.
Baylor Scott & White Health, changing healthcare for the better.
Welcome back. Authorities are searching for a 13-year-old Wisconsin girl who was last seen at a family gathering Sunday. Police are also investigating the deaths of her parents, who were found dead in their home in a small Wisconsin town. NBC's Dan Shinneman has the latest.
An Amber Alert issued for 13-year-old Jamie Kloss. She's 5 feet tall, 100 pounds. Police call her missing and endangered.
We are running a 24/7 operation, a 24-center command post. We have teams ready to respond at a moment's notice when a tip comes in.
She was last seen Sunday. On Monday, police were called to her parents' home in Barron, Wisconsin, where both parents, James and Denise Kloss, were murdered. Neighbors say they heard gunfire.
When I heard the first shot, it was boom, and then seconds, boom, even bigger, louder.
Investigators say Jamie Kloss is not a suspect. Friends of the family now pray for Jamie's safe return and ultimately hope for justice.
It's tough, and the family has a lot of, they have extended family close who are big community members as well, so it kind of reaches out a lot.
Police say they've received hundreds of tips and say every minute counts. Dan Shinneman, NBC News.
Now, the FBI has joined the search and utilized the Bureau's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team. Well, if you were trying to get your YouTube fix tonight, you couldn't. What YouTube has to say about it next on Channel 6 News at 10. First, though, a quick weather fix.
Yeah, we've got high pressure sitting right across the front range of the Rocky Mountains. This is helping pull much colder air back across the Lone Star State. Cold air down to the surface being overrun by moisture off the Gulf of Mexico and off of the Pacific Ocean. Going to keep rain in the outlook for us up and down the Interstate 20 corridor through our area as well. Cloud cover is going to hold the temperatures down to the 50s tomorrow. We have complete details on a wet Wednesday coming up next. Stay with us.
Watch Dr. Phil weekdays at 3 only on Channel 6. Expect more.
And you said it was how much? For 2? And a free eye exam? Stanton! Oh, I love you. No, I hate it.
At Stanton Optical, get 2 pair for $59.95, plus a free eye exam.
I don't have money to donate to politicians. I'm just a vet who got his skull cracked open, needs meds. The VA was so late mailing them to me that I go through withdrawals every month. I finally tried Congressman John Carter. Bingo. The regional head of the VA personally called me. Changed everything for every vet.
Congressman Carter saved my dad. Thank you, Mr. Carter.
I'm John Carter, and I approve this message.
Here's your Buick, sir. Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This is my Buick.
How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick? Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises.
Get 16% below MSRP on most 2018 Encore models. That's over $5,200 on this Encore Essence. Visit these Central Texas Buick GMC dealers.
Hello, my name is Rachel E. Pate. I am a native Wacoan. I've been here all of my life. And when I have visitors come from out of town, I love to show them around East Waco. And I'm here today at Lee's Drive-In. One of my favorite things about Lee's Drive-In is the link basket and then also the pineapple pecan sundae. My favorite thing to note about them is they are family traditions. Stand tall, be sweet, wear your crown, and love Waco.
So you guys have recently started dating?
Yes.
Cool. I want to show you guys 3 Chevy SUVs. The first one is called the Trax. Great for when you move in together. And this is the Chevy Equinox. Perfect for when you 2 have your first kid.
Give me some time.
Okay. This is the Traverse for when you have your 5 kids, 2 dogs, and 1 cat.
Whoa. Get 16% below MSRP on all 2018 Trax models, or 20% below MSRP when you finance with GM Financial. That's almost $6,000 on this Chevy Trax. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
You wouldn't go to Stanton, would you, Fergus? You don't think that Stanton's glasses are more beautiful than mine, do you?
I I am going to ask you one last time.
At Stanton Optical, get 2 pair for $59.95, plus a free eye exam.
Welcome back. In tonight's 6 More Things to Know, the debate between Senate candidates Senator Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke took place this evening. Topics included health care, Supreme Court justices, and the Me Too movement. And this may have been the last debate between the pair before the big election. If you want a full rundown, head over to our website, KCENTV.com. The CDC now investigating 127 possible cases of acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, in 22 states. Now, it's an illness that causes muscles and reflexes to weaken suddenly. So far, there are 62 confirmed cases, and doctors have suspected it might be related to a virus. However, they have not been able to pin down anything linking all those cases. The Trump administration says 66 children remain in U.S. custody after being separated from their undocumented parents this summer. That's according to the latest filing in the ACLU class action case over family separations. Now, the filing states one of those kids is just under 5 years old and 50 have parents who have already been deported. Well, the investigation continues after a plane landed along the shoreline of Daytona Beach today. Aerial video shows efforts to pull it away from the water. Authorities say only one person was on board when the plane crashed, the pilot, who was alert and on the wing when first responders arrived, and luckily no one was hurt. Well, also in Florida, meet Chubbs, the monster-sized gator. He lives around the Buffalo Creek Golf Course in Palmetto, Florida, and when you see him, a lot of words come to mind. Like massive, mammoth, gigantic, just a big nope. Out of there. Officials at the Buffalo Creek Golf Course say Chubbs has been roaming the course for years and he doesn't bother anyone. And they obviously don't bother him. That looks like a
Jurassic Park.
No, absolutely not. You know what was also bothering a lot of people tonight? YouTube. It was broken. It was broken for about an hour. The video streaming site went down seemingly everywhere. YouTube tweeted out saying that it thanked everyone for reporting the issue. I'm sure they were very thankful. And they were working to get it fixed. They apologized for any inconveniences it caused. Twitter lit up. Comments from people all over the world complaining, sharing their annoyance, posting hilarious memes. Thankfully, we checked right before the newscast. It does seem to be back up and running. Now I can watch all those puppy videos, Andy, because clearly that's what I promise I did not. Oh, and toddlers and tiaras, all the fun stuff. This has to be a really old video because there was like who knows what video that was. Anyway.
I had gotten a couple of messages that Messenger was having some problems tonight.
If Facebook goes down the same night YouTube goes down, we have all the first world problems.
It's a conspiracy,
I
think.
All right.
Visibility is beginning to drop a little bit. Take a look. Downtown Temple, we got light rain, brief little shower moved through, but the atmosphere is just about saturated, just like the grounds are as well. So if you got to be out tonight, remember that you're going to be running into some patches of fog around the area. It has been another wet one. Now, these are 2-day rainfall totals. Over 3 inches of rain being recorded the last 2 days in Clifton. Our thanks going out to Nancy Marins. And North Belton, 3.34 inches of rain. And our thanks to new weather watcher Jerry Molina for his contribution to our program. And look at this, almost 6 inches of rain in Kempner. And our thanks to Dawn West for the 5.78 inch rainfall total she gave us today. We saw record rainfall for the date set at Waco Regional Airport with a 1.57 inches of rain. And it was the coolest high temperature we've had on record, 49 this afternoon. This is the forecast model, and the models point towards perhaps as much as 3 inches of rain over the next 2 days from the area around Bernie, Kerrville, Fredericksburg, all up towards San Saba and towards Brady. Outside of that area, we can see 1.5 inches, 2 inches, a good possibility, and that area stretches right back over into our area right along the I-35 corridor. So that's why we have the flash flood watches and warnings in effect out to the west of us. Many of the creeks and rivers in these areas are at bankful as well. You see the small green boxes here like that. Those are creeks and arroyos and small river bodies that are at bankful already. Low water crossings. Be extremely careful out driving in the next couple of days across the area. It's 46 now with rain coming down at Gatesville, 49 in Waco with rain, 47 in in Killeen, 48 degrees right now in Georgetown. Along I-45, you're looking at 50 in Fairfield, 52 in Centerville, and 51 at this hour in Corsicana. Light rain shower at the airport, 49 degrees. Still looking at a pretty good north wind, 10 to 15 miles an hour. We're going to go drizzle, light rain tonight, 70% coverage. The overnight low temperature not far from where we are now. We'll go 47 degrees first thing tomorrow morning. We'll make it back up into the 50s, but not by a whole lot. We'll go 54 for a high. Rain still very generous. We're going to go 60% coverage, but because it's light, misty, drizzly, rainy conditions, we're not anticipating huge rainfall accumulations. We might see another tenth, possibly 2/10 of an inch, quarter of an inch, a possibility in the forecast for us tomorrow. Here's your Channel 6 7-day forecast where your weekend is always in view. Yeah, we'll call it light rain, 60% coverage, winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour, 47 in the morning with a high of 54. And very light rainfall totals. Thursday, different story, 60% chances of rain, but heavier at times as the whole area of moisture that's been sitting out across West Texas begins to push in our direction. We could see an additional half inch of rain, not only on Friday, but as we go into the weekend as well, 50% chances of rain on Saturday. High school football could be a wet affair Friday night. Saturday looks like it's going to be wet as well for our many activities that are going to be going on. I'll be the Headless Horseman again this year. Saturday and the coming Saturday at Table Rock in Salado. The park will open at sundown for a frightfully good fun time.
I've seen the pictures of that costume. It's pretty great.
Good.
Fun
I'm
stuff.
glad you like it.
All right. Well, Nick joins us with sports. Lynx Hawthorne getting a chance to play professional football overseas.
He is. You know, and I'm sure you can guess which coach he is playing for without me saying a word. I'll have that coming up. Also, Jessica Maury has the inspiring story of Academy coach Jared Hunt. That's next.
This segment of Channel 6 Weather is brought to you by Johnson Brothers Ford.
Dinner table. Entertainment center. Luxury box. The best tailgates make the best tailgate parties no matter how you use them. Hurry in now to the Toyota Tailgate event to get great deals on a new Tundra, Tacoma, or 4Runner.
Right now, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 72 months, plus a $2,000 special edition bonus on a new 2018 Tundra Crewmax Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places.
An innocent young girl was brutalized and murdered in a quiet neighborhood. The monsters who did it dumped her body right here. They were members of the evil gang MS-13. They were caught, but there's more to do. So I launched anti-gang task forces all across Texas, and thousands of criminals have already been arrested. As your governor, there's nothing more important than keeping you and your family safe, and I'll do whatever it takes.
Hi, I'm Mike Ishak, new general manager at All-American Chevrolet of Killeen, and I have two core values. One, take care of your customer, and two, give back to the community. Last month, we gave over $20,000 to the Wounded Warrior Project, and this month, we're pledging $100 to breast cancer awareness for every vehicle sold.
Save $13,250 off MSRP on a new 2018 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab Texas Edition.
So I'd like to invite you down in person to All-American Chevrolet of Killeen and take advantage of the new Silverado.
Hi, Mac Purefoy, Purefoy Company Insurance, downtown Temple. Our lives are constantly changing. Let Purefoy Company Insurance protect your business, home, auto, and life. Purefoy Insurance, your trusted choice.
We won't attempt to talk you out of your current car. A test drive will do the talking for us. The Volkswagen Drive to Decide event. Get a Volkswagen with America's best 6-year, 72,000-mile limited warranty. Right now, you can lease a value-packed 2019 Jetta S for just $159 a month or get a $1,000 bonus.
Experience the area's premier indoor gun range and training facility, offering a $15 rate to shoot all day. No contracts, no service agreements. When your gun range costs less, you shoot more. Mountain Creek Range.
Watch Dr. Phil weekdays at 3 only on Channel 6. Expect more.
You know, many high school coaches dream of coaching at their alma mater. One local assistant coach is doing just that, but his journey back home wasn't a typical one. Jessica Maury introduces us to Jared Hunt.
You know, is it different? Absolutely. I mean, you're going from the SEC West to
to 3A Little River Academy football.
Just a few months ago, Jared Hunt was living out his dream.
It was where I wanted to be. I had that goal. Everybody I worked with knew I wanted to get to the college level and do recruiting. I was able to get that opportunity, and it was huge.
That opportunity was the recruiting coordinator position at the University of Arkansas. After spending 9 years as a high school assistant coach around Texas, Jared joined Chad Morris's staff at SMU and then followed him to Fayetteville. But just as he was getting settled, tragedy struck back home.
I was actually moving my moving truck from Dallas to Fayetteville. We were going through Arkansas, and my wife was back home here in Academy, and she gave me a phone call that no one ever wants to get. Her sister at 27 passed away, and so that from that moment on was kind of rough.
Jared struggled. He wanted to continue following his dream, but he knew he needed to be back with his family in his hometown of Academy, ultimately realizing his purpose outweighed his passion.
I figured out real quick that when I got back home, like this is exactly where I need to be. This is where I want to be, and so you know, when you're a bumblebee, your family's a bumblebee. You know, my dad wore these colors, my mom wore these colors, my wife's family, and you know, getting back here and seeing my girls in green and gold has been amazing.
The initial decision to come back home may have been a difficult one for Jared, but for the coaches at Academy, it was a no-brainer.
It's always great to have hometown ties with a community and a system like this, because the kid's seen his picture in the gym, they know who he is, and so it was a great opportunity to bring him home, and it was a great opportunity to bring a coach of his caliber to our staff.
Jared is now living out a new dream. He's the offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach at his alma mater, and he couldn't be happier.
I'm here to be a bumblebee. I'm here to be a bumblebee, whatever role that is. That's what I'm here for.
Reporting in Academy, Jessica Maury, Channel 6 Sports.
Nice job, Jessica. La Vega head coach Don Hyde said it's been a long year up to this point, and he's right. You know, his team has already played 6 games, none of which were in district. Now, this Friday, the Pirates finally start district play when they host number 9 Stephenville in our game of the week. La Vega will be well rested after a much-needed bye week. 2 weeks ago, they ran for 360 yards in a 56-19 win over Liberty Ilo. Now, the defense has played outstanding this year, giving up just an average of 18 points a game. Yellow Jackets come in, high-powered offense, averaging about 35 points a game. Now, here's what Don Hyde had to say on what's it going to take to win on Friday night.
Blocking, tackling, taking care of the football. I mean, that's football. I mean, that's what it's going to take for us to be successful. You know, the games we've been successful, we've done that. The games we haven't, we didn't do that. So, you know, that's the way football works. If you block and tackle, you're going to win and take care of the football.
The Cleveland Browns have signed former UMHB standout Blake Jackson to their practice squad. Jackson played in 3 preseason games, catching a 22-yard touchdown pass against the Lions back on August 30th. Now, he did spend some time with the Calgary Stampeders of the Canadian Football League back in the spring. He also helped UMHB win their first national championship back in 2016. Well, according to his Instagram, former Baylor wide receiver Lynx Hawthorne is headed to Italy to play quarterback for Art Briles. Hawthorne said he signed his contract last night and will head to Italy in December. In 4 seasons, he caught 32 passes for 380 yards and 3 touchdowns. As a quarterback, he was 11 of 23 for 66 yards and 2 interceptions. Game 3 of the ALCS between the Red Sox and Astros, 2-2 in the 6th. Former Astros Steve Pearce unloads on this Joe Smith 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Smith was left off the Division Series roster for a reason. That is why, because he's garbage. To the 8th, Boston leading 4-2. Jackie Bradley Jr. puts the nail in the coffin with a grand slam. Red Sox win 8-2. They take a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 tomorrow night.